America. Learn the truth. The brothers and sisters who all attend, be sure to bring the youth. ISLAM. This long, Muslim, this long. You're saying the word mean peace to me. Islam, Muslim, Islam. All rise, face the east. Five fingers on the right, two on the left. Feet in the 90-degree move. Feet the most American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
The Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation.
My salvation.
By night and by day. To his holy prophet. You Ali.
Amen.
First, I rise in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praise is due to Allah, Father of the universe. Father of love, true peace, freedom, and justice. The author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. To the one who is supreme, most wise and beneficent. To him alone belongs worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praise. I like to say, praise Allah, praise Allah, praise Allah. For sending the divine prophet, the last prophet in day and time who came in due time, to the fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America, teaching them how to learn to love instead of hate, teaching them about their higher self and lower self. Teach those things to make them better men, better women, better husbands, better wives, better children. Teach those things that then the industrial. Our prophet, your brother, man, Prophet Nabu Ali, born in the state of North Carolina, January 8, 1886. I'd like to come on to all the prophets of Allah, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, etc. I'd like to come on to the harbinger of the Prophet Nabu Ali, and John the Baptist was Jesus in those days and time. So was Marcus Garvey, our prophet in these other days and time, who did serve the nation, who did serve up you mighty race. You can accomplish what you will. I'd like to come on all the past, the present, and the future leaders of the Moorish Science of America, Brother C. Curtin Bay, Brother F. Nelson Bay, and Brother J. Blakely Bay. I'd like to come on to the former Grand Sheik and moderator of the Moorish Science of America, Brother R. Love E. I'd like to come on to the present Grand Sheik and moderator of the Moorish Science of America, Brother R. Jones Bay, and to the assistant, Brother A. Hopkins Bay. I'd like to come on to all national officials, all state officials, all local officials. I'd like to come on to all Grand Governor Assistant, all Grand Sheik and Assistant. I'd like to come on to the Grand Governor of the State of New York, Brother D. Clark Hill, or to his assistant, Brother A. Gaines Hill. I'd like to come on to the Grand Sheikers of Temple number 34, Sister C. Fields here, and to assistant, Brother W. Condemned Bay. I'd like to come on to all the officers of Templeton 34. I'd like to come on to all Sheik and Sheikers, all divine ministers, all members. I'd like to come on to our two flags. The American flag for the Republic which it stands, the Moorish flag for the divine nation for which it stands, with the five highest divine principles known to man: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I'd like to come on to our charter, with the seven wonders and mysteries of the world, which gives us the right to teach. It's wrong in America without molestation. I'd like to go on to the divine constitution and bylaws, questioning additional laws, the Holy Quran, and more science of America. Humanity's advancement, all the literature and all the divine instruction that the prophet brought for the lifting of fallen humanity. I'd like to go on to the charter with the seven wonders and missions of the world, which gives us the right to teach us wrong in America without molestation. I'd like to go on to everyone who's working for the lifting of fallen humanity. I read the laws of the Moorish Science of America. Song of Christian salvation, all-seeing eye, our God, and present unity. The Moorish Science of America, Divine Constitution and Bylaws, Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science of America is empowered to make law and enforce law with the assistance of the Prophet and the grand body of the Moorish Science of America. The assistant Grand Sheik assists the Grand Sheik in all affairs, if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and is known before the members of the Moorish Science of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is a holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on the Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended up to his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Morris Science Temple of America. No members are put in danger or accused falsely his brother or sister on any occasion or that may harm his brother or sister because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you're part and parcel of the government and must live your life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Council of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of this said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us all members must proclaim their nationality, and we're teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they're part and parcel of this said government, and other than our Negroes, color folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained over you Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish American are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwest and the southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members will probably attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all of the acts of the Moorish Scientific of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Scientific of America. Then you're entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of foreign humanity. All Moorish Americans keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine coming from the Holy Prophet Noble Jew Ali, truly God of his folk, Father God Allah. Noble Jew Ali, the founder of Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day. To his Holy Prophet Jew Ali. Amen. Thus I read the 7 acts of the divine constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Scientific of America. And now go to the great media on Quran questions for Moorish American, page 7. Questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish American by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Act 1. Grand chiefs and governors and heads of all temple or businesses. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Jew Ali before acting upon by any members. Let it be financed properly or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under every restriction, etc., by the prophet or the grand chief. Act 2. All members are to attend the Arab meetings and a public meeting promptly. If a member is found standing around the meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he'll be fined $1, which will go in your emergency fund. If members working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe as much as he's able to the Moorish Upliftment Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he's able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he's an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must get you. Let it be he or she, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. As I have the power invested in my hands, I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we're to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must probably attend their meeting and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire, and let every member exercise his 5 senses who's able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and none of them are Negroes, color folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now. And all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish American descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Except all members of Columbia attending meetings are becoming part and parcel of all of the acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all the necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you're entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of foreign humanity. All Moorish Americans keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine coming from the holy prophet Noble Drew Ali through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Thus I read the 7 acts of the questionnaire additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. I now take your attention to the Holy Quran and Moorish Science of America, Surah 7, divinely prepared by the Noble Prophet Drew Ali, by the guidance of his father, God Allah, the great God of the universe. He redeemed man from the sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father, God Allah. I'd like to take your attention to page 4, Divine Instruction from the Holy Prophet, chapter 1, the creation and fall of man. Time never was when man was not. If life at any time began, a time would come when it would end. The thoughts of Allah cannot be circumscribed. No finite mind can comprehend things infinite. All finite things are subject unto change. All finite things will cease to be because there was a time when they were not. The bodies and the soul of man are finite things, and they will change, yes. From the finite point of view, the time will come when there will be no more. But man himself is not the body nor the soul. He's a spirit and a part of Allah. Creative faith gave to man, the spirit man, his soul, that he might function on the plane of soul. Gave him a body of flesh, that he might function on the plane of things made manifest. Why did creative faith give the spirit man his soul, that he might function on the plane of soul? Why did creative faith give the soul a body of flesh, that he might function on the plane of things that are made manifest? Hear now, ye cherubim, ye seraphim, ye angels, and ye men. Hear now, ye creeping things of earth, ye fish that swim, ye birds that fly. Hear now, you wind that blow, you thunder and you lightning of the sky. Hear now, you spirit of the fire, of water, earth, and air. Hear now everything that is, or was, or evermore will be. For wisdom, speak from the highest plane of spirit life. Man is a thought of Allah. Our thoughts of Allah are infinite. They are not measured by time, for the things that are concerned with time begin and end. The thoughts of Allah are the everlasting of the past unto the never-ending days to come. And so is man, the spirit man. But man, like every other thought of Allah, was but a seed that held within itself the potency of Allah. Just as the seed of any plant of earth holds deep within itself the attributes of every part of that special plant. So spirit man, and the seed of Allah, held deep within himself the attributes of every part of Allah. Now, seeds are perfect, yes, as perfect from the source from which they come, but they are not unfolded into life made manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. So man, the seed must be deeply planted in its soil, that he might grow, unfold, as does the bud unfold to show the flower. The human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah was full ordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed into the soil of soul, It grew apace, and man became a living soul. And he became the Lord of all the kingdom of the soul. Hark now, let every creature hear. The plane of soul is but the ether of the spirit plane, vibrating not so fast. And in the slower rhythm of this plane, the essence of life will manifest. The perfumes and the odors and the true sensation and all of love manifest. And these soul attributes became embodied beautiful. A multitude of lesser man must learn upon the plane of soul, and he carries many ages unto this lesson of all learned. Upon the boundaries of the plane of soul, the ether began to vibrate slow still, and then the essence took on a final guard. The perfumes and the odors and the true sensation and all of love were clothed in flesh, and man was clothed in flesh. Perfected man was passed through all the ways of life, and so a carnal was full manifest, a nature that sprang forth from fleshly things. Without a foe, a soldier never knows the strength, and thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so this carnal nature soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be the strength of Allah made manifest. Let every living thing stand still and hear. Man is the Lord of all the plane of manifest, of protoplasm, of mineral, of plant, of beast. But he gave up his birthrights just to gratify his lower self. But man will regain his lost estate, his heritage, but he must do it in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yea, he must suffer trials and temptation manifold. But let him know that the cherubim and seraphim that rules the station of the sun, and the spirit of the mighty Allah who rules the soul of the stars, are his protectors and his guide, and they will lead to victory. Man will be fully saved, redeemed, perfected by the things he suffered on the plane of flesh and on the plane of soul. When man has conquered carnal things, his God with flesh will then assert its purpose well, and it will fall will be no more. Then he will stand untrammeled on the plane of soul, where he must full completed victory. Our number 4 will stand before man upon the plane of soul. These he must overcome, yea, overcome them everyone. Thus hope will ever be his beacon light. There is no failure for the human soul, for Allah is leading on and victory sure. Man cannot die. The spirit man is one with Allah. And while Allah lives, man cannot die. When man has conquered every foe upon the plane of soul, the sea would full open out and would be unfolded in the holy grail. The godly soul would then have served its purpose well, and man would leave it nevermore, and it would pass and be no more, and man would then attain unto the blessedness of perfectness, and at one with Allah. Thus I read the entire chapter of Divine Instruction from the Holy Prophet, chapter 1, the creation of fallen man. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate, to know their higher self and lower self. These united the Holy Quran of Mecca for teaching and instructing all Muslim Americans, etc. From the Holy Quran and more science of America. Know yourself and your Father God Allah. You can learn to love instead of hate. Every man needs to worship under his own vine and fig tree, united of Asia. I leave now open the phone to the Prophet of the Law. I'd like him to be here, glad to be here on this Friday, holy day for Muslims all over the world, allowing us the opportunity to come and sit and hear the words of the prophet. We just want to say, open up the windows of your heart. Open up the windows of your heart. Open up the windows of your heart. And let that spirit of the words of the prophet touch you. Because that's what it's all about. It's about healing ourselves. It's about using these tools and these remedies, to deal and balance ourselves back. Because you're talking about, we got to be careful of our thoughts, because our thoughts create that energy. And sometimes that energy will go to and fro sometimes because of that murky Egypt of the flesh. So we got to be able to look and see the mechanic of what's happening within each and every one of our lives. Because we all working out the same life song, and we must do the what? And the conflict cannot be told in words. Because each and every one of us got to go within ourselves and work on ourselves Each and every one of us have to go within the wilderness ourselves and note our strength and weakness. We got to examine ourselves. We don't have no other choice but to examine our hearts. And it's important that we bound ourselves, because every living thing is bound by course to every other living thing. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will love and not demand of in return. They would not do to other men what would they not have other men to do unto them. And it's deep because something will stay with us when our parents was teaching us certain little things. You know, and when we come into the more sense of remember, we see how it solidified ourselves that they was on point. They may not know the whole mechanic of what the higher and the lower self is, but they know that they love God. They love Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And when they love Jesus, they love your prophet. Because the prophet said, those who were with me 2,000 years ago was with me, and those who are against me is against me. And somebody said some of my best morals are in the church. And you can see it. You can see the glow of some of these brothers and sisters when they come out of the church or when they're going into the church. You can see the aura, you know, those things around them. Because they love Jesus. And the only Savior of the word is love. The only Savior of the word is love. The only Savior of the word is love. And Jesus, son of Mary, came to manifest that love to men. But love cannot be manifest until we have to be paid. And knock him right the rock, build him off the head, and fill the valley up just to fear the way, but purity of life men do not comprehend. And so it too must come in flesh. So we have the work of Jesus and John, you know, showing us the example. Purity may pave the way for love, you know, and it's very important because, you know, like I said, John Roth, it just included 18 years. He worked until he became a mastermind. So praise the Lord that we are on our way, and praise the Lord, like the prophet said, he mended the broken wires and connected back to your higher power. He connected us back to the higher power. You know? So praise the Lord for connecting us back to our higher self. And it's very important that we stay connected because it's very important that we look at ourselves, see ourselves, and be ourselves. Because we talk about following the prophet. We said we follow the prophet to the destiny which is not uncertain nor unknown. So at least we on the course, more. You know, at least, you know, we say roughly something you can shout about. We should shout about this because these are the remedies that can help our people going back to the high state of spirit life. See? Even though they're going through the follies and the illusion of the world, they still got the potencies of Allah within them because, you know what I'm saying? Because when we look at the face of man and woman, we look at the image of Allah who speaks within. What man does for man, he does for Allah. And you must bear in mind what man arm and thought word another man, he done it wrong to Allah. The thought. If man is the thought of Allah, keep them thoughts high. Raise the thoughts of infinite wisdom. And see omnipotence is laid before thee. Raise your thoughts. Raise your thoughts. Raise your thoughts. You know? So praise be to Allah for allowing us to gather on this holy day for Muslims all over the world. In tune with those wills, in tune with that beatific will. You know, so praise Allah for looking at ourselves, be ourselves, and know ourselves. And, you know, looking at ourselves. Okay, praise Allah, praise Allah. Yeah, I'd like to say more. Let's go with self-examination. Examine our heart, look within our heart, study ourselves, you know. And I just sound like to call the first speaker, even before I bring him forth. Please give me all divine attention. Let's call Brother Kip today after the song.
We're on the main line, the main line. The prophet came and put us on the main line.
We on the main
line, the main line. The prophet came and put us on the main line. He brought us our religion, our flag, and grace. The prophet came and put us on the main line. He connected us back to the human race. The prophet came and put us on the main line. We're on the main line, the main line. The prophet came and put us on the main line. We're on the main line, the main line. The prophet came and put us on the main line.
Islam? Look at that. Islam.
I'm actually just traveling. I'm unable to speak. I apologize.
JP this here?
The main line.
The prophet came and put us on the main line. We're on the main line, the main line. The prophet came and put us on the main line.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Happy Holy Day.
Happy Holy Day.
First and foremost, ye are the children of one Father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given we suck. I want to rise, give praises to the great God of the universe, and honors to his prophet, and everything that he had brought for the uplifting of fallen humanity. I want to give honors to man. When man honors man, he honors his Father, God Allah. I want to give honors to past, present, and future leaders of the North Scientific America Incorporated. I'm going to give honors to everyone in the sound of my voice. Islam. So, made it through another cycle, Mars. Another 7 days. Always and forevermore. So I'm gonna be taking a read from chapter 36. Well, actually, no. Yeah, I'm gonna take a read from chapter 36. Found on page 44. Holy Quran, the Moorish Science Temple of America, Circle 7, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guiding of his father God, Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen state of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God, Allah. Know thyself and Allah, period. The genealogy of Jesus, life and works of Jesus in India, Europe, and Africa, and the land of Egypt. Holy instructions from the prophet. Know thyself. Weak and ignorant as thou art, O man, humble as thou oughtest to be, O child of the dust. Wouldst thou raise thy thoughts to infinite wisdom? Wouldst thou see omnipotence displayed before thee? Contemplate thine frame. Fearfully and wonderfully art thou made. And I think sometimes we may, I know I do, may overlook how important it is to contemplate thy frame. Right? To contemplate thy frame. right? To be able to be still and allowing your energy to flow completely through your body, right? From one hand to the other hand, right? From one end of the pole to the other end of the pole, right? There's infinity in between our two hands, most. As the Grand Shiana obey, he teaches. Well, contemplating that frame, he said, "Fearfully and wonderfully art thou made. Praise therefore thy Creator with awe, and rejoice before him with reverence. Wherefore of all creatures art thou only erect, but that thou shouldst behold his works. Wherefore art thou to behold, but that thou mayest admire them. Wherefore to admire, but that thou mayest adore their and thy Creator." And that right there is deep. He said, "Wherefore of all creatures art thou only erect." Every creature gives their reverence to his works. Right? What is his works? Sun, his noblest image. That's the one I could think of off the top. He said, "We are the only ones that stand erect, but that thou should behold his works. Wherefore art thou to behold, but that thou mayest admire them. Wherefore to admire, but that thou mayest adore their and thy Creator."
Mhm.
So he's letting you know, even in his magnificent works, it's still connected to us. Right? Those magnificent works that we see from Allah, they bonded to us to a degree.
Islam.
Wherefore is consciousness reposed on thee alone? And whence is it derived to thee?
Mhm.
It is not in flesh to think. It is not in bones to reason. The lion knoweth not that worms shall eat him.
Mhm.
The ox perceiveth not that he is fed for slaughter.
Mhm.
He said, it is not in flesh to think. And it is not in bones to reason. Prophet is a prophet, man.
Islam.
He said, something is added to thee,
That's right.
unlike to something is added to thee, unlike to what thou seest.
Mm.
Something informs thy clay. Higher than all is the object of thy senses. Behold, what is it? The body remaineth perfect after it is fled. Therefore, it is no part of it. It is immaterial. Therefore, it is eternal.
Mhm.
It is free to act. Therefore, it is accountable for its actions.
Islam.
Knoweth the ass the use of food, because his teeth mow down the herbage? Or standeth the crocodile erect, although his backbone is as straight as thine? Allah formed thee as he formed these, and after them all wert thou created.
Mhm.
Superiority and command were given to thee over all, over all, and of his own breath did he communicate to thee the principle of knowledge. Know thyself and the pride of his creation. The line uniting divinity and matter. Behold, a part of Allah himself within thee. Remember thine own dignity, nor dare descend to evil or to meanness. Who planted terror in the tail of the serpent? Who clove the neck of the horse with thunder? Even he who hath instructed thee to crush the one under thy feet and to tame the other to thy purpose. And thy purpose is deific life, Moses. Right? He said, follow the Moses to a destination. He said, follow him, right, to a destination that's neither uncertain nor unknown. Right? I'm going to say Islam. Hold on. Fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate, and to know of their higher self and lower self. This is the uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca for the teaching and the instructing of all Moorish Americans, etc. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Know yourself and Father God Allah, that you may learn to love instead of hate. Every man needs to worship under his own vine and fig tree. The uniting of Asia. Peace and love to the most. Happy Holy Day again. I think the
you already came to this land
peace and
for
love.
the sake of sinful man. And he had all time almost every day. Well, he knows the pain you feel. He can save when he can heal. He's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. He's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. Oh, he's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. Just to know he came for me, and from slavery has set me free. He's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. You are the king of this land, one foot on the sea and one on the land. And he declared that the time will be no more. Well, he called you and me the same. He gave us free national name. He's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. He's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. Oh, he's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. Just to know he came for me, and from slavery has set me free. He's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. You are the went to Washington, D.C. for the rights of you and me. And that's when they saw the handwriting on the wall. Well, they all were filled with fear. They said their Redeemer is here. He's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. He's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. Oh, he's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. Just to know he came for me, and from slavery has set me free. He's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. You are the went to Washington, D.C. for the rights of you and me. And that's when they saw the handwriting on the wall. Well, they hung their heads in there. They said their Redeemer is here. He's the joy of my salvation. Yes, he is. Islam.
Islam.
I'd like to thank our brother J.P.D. Seal for reading from start out reading the chapter, Divine Instruction from the Holy Prophet, chapter 36. Holy Instruction from the Prophet, know thyself. Prophet tells us, know thyself, and that's all that Allah. Man, look at the face of man, and you look at the image of Allah who speak within. So know thyself, study thyself, examine thyself. Superiority command was given to thee of all, and of his own breath, you communicate to be the principle of God. So praise Allah that he planted those seeds inside of us. Praise Allah that he give us them thoughts to be able to think, and to be able to know, and to be able to examine ourselves and work in ourselves. So praise the Lord. Thank you for his reading and also for his comment. At this time, I'd like to call the next speaker. Before I bring him forward, please give me undivided attention. I'd like to call Brother K. Turner Bay after the song. I want to do as the Lord say do.
I wanna do
as the Lord say do. And if I do as the Lord say do,
I know that everything is gonna be alright.
I want to pray
Like the Lord say pray.
I want to pray.
I wanna pray like the Lord say pray.
And if I pray
Like the Lord say pray. I know that everything is gonna be alright.
I want to follow the prophet's Lord. I want to follow the prophet's Lord. And if I follow the prophet's Lord,
I know that everything is gonna be alright.
I want to study like
Like
the
the
Lord
Lord
says study.
I wanna
I want to study like the Lord says study. And if I study like the Lord says study,
I know that everything is gonna be alright.
I know that
Everything is gonna be alright.
Islam,
Islam.
Islam,
Islam.
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 I like to rise and give praises to the great God of the universe, the author, the creator of all the worlds, who we call Allah. I like to give honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who brought us everything it takes to save a nation. Said, take it and save yourself. I like to give honors to the forerunner of the Prophet, Brother Marcus Garvey, who said, up, up, you mighty race.
That's right, Lord.
You can accomplish what you will. I like to give honors to the chairman and everything the chairman gave honors to. I like to give honors to the Grand Sheik of Temple 34, her Sister Cecile Zeal, Brother W. Clinton and Bay. I like to give honors to our flag of my birth, that American flag for which it stands. I like to give honors to the flag of my descent, that Moorish flag, red flag with a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. 5 points that stands for the highest principles known to man: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I like to give honor to that charter with its wonders of the world to give us the right to operate on it in the soil. I like to give honors to each and every one of you. If a man honors man, he honors his father, God, Allah. Islam?
That's right.
Islam.
Islam.
It's a word, you know, today's the 6th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like math a little bit.
Yeah, praise the Lord.
So it helps me reflect, or it helps me to think about something to demonstrate as I navigate, which is also striving. So, you know, it comes to chapter 33 with me, right? It's 3 and 3 is 6. And I look at the demonstration, you know, what was I dealing with? Was I dealing with gratitude? How to receive it and show it? I said, yeah, that's a demonstration. Because where I worked, I did my employer a favor. And they showed their gratitude. And I showed my gratitude when they considered me instead of somebody else that worked with them. You know, so that was a portion of gratitude. And I started reflecting on, you know, how much gratitude am I actually showing, right? Because we all want it back. We all want to be, you know, honored and revered when we do something for somebody out of the kindness of our heart, right? With good intentions, right? It feels good. They get that feeling again, that body of desires. We got to be careful, right? Because we can get in the wantonness of wanting to be revered or honored or shown gratitude for the things we do, but as Moors, we shouldn't focus on that. That shouldn't be the focus, because it can lean towards negativity, pride, vanity, right? So we got to be careful. So, and I've learned that because I'm speaking to myself, right? Because you go out in the world and you help a older lady, an older sister cross the street, which I've done before. I didn't care whether she said thank you. I wasn't doing it for her thank you. So in my reflections, I said, you know what? I gotta start moving like that. Not caring whether I'm getting the gratitude back. Because like the brother said, the heart of a grateful man, you know, he gives loves and don't demand love in return. So what are we doing? What am I doing? I shouldn't have to. Because it is, was, and evermore to be. Amen. So I just got to stand firm in my own principles. And everything is going to be all right.
That's right.
Epiphany. I swear. Because I used to be that way, where it was like I didn't care about what another individual thought about my niceness, my kindness, because I wasn't doing it for them. It was a point, I'm doing it for Allah. How you doing? You know, that feeling I miss, and then I reflect, you know, because reflection is the business of man. When did I lose that? The world of sorrows.
Yes.
Huh? I'm attached to this flesh.
Yeah.
I'm feeling everybody's energy. Everybody feeling my energy, and we attracted, and I ain't balancing myself.
Yeah. Praise the Lord.
I ain't protecting myself from myself, because we are reflections of each other, right? Forgetfulness, man. Inconstancy, right? Because if I was constant standing on my square, it wouldn't get into me. It couldn't cut into me, as we say when we behind the walls. You ain't cutting into me, man. I ain't even shaking your hand. I don't know what you about. You know? Because it's real. You shaking everybody's hand. You don't know what energy they coming with, what energy they bringing. But guess what? When you are who you are, it don't matter. Check the brother Jesus sitting next to thieves, Cortesans.
Yeah, that's right.
Huh? It don't matter. When you are who you are. Right? It was the old saying y'all used to say, my pops, is you or ain't you, right? I think is that is you or ain't you, my baby? That's it. Huh? Are we children of Allah or what? Are we ready to stand up and be soldiers for the prophet?
That's right.
Please. I can't ask myself that. I pray to Allah that I can prepare myself to receive the blessings and to walk in the right path and not to stumble. And I keep stumbling, striving, gotta be remembered. Remember that? You know, like when you have parents and you do something wrong, what the first thing they do? That's my day. Not the children today. My day, oh my goodness, man. Every turn we get popped. But Corey was a good kid. I learned quick. I seen my cousins do it. Oh no, I'm going this way. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't feel the brunt of it. But sometimes, you know, Mama Love, bless her, she catch me because she know you. Your mother know you, boy, and be waiting around. I knew he was. I told him not to go to the store. I told him to go this way, and he gonna go. You go around the corner, you think you chilling, and pop! How you get you out? You know, Mama know you, but that's another reflection, right? Does she know me because I came from her, or does she know me because she paid attention to the bit of my inclinations? That's being around me 24/7, watching me from a baby, knowing what I would get into and what I wouldn't do and what I would do. Man, I know he said, you know, don't wish him back, but if I could talk to my mother and my consciousness, So I pray to see her on the soul plane, you know, in my sleep, my dreams, you know, because there's some things I would like to say. Knowing. I'm going to take a reading from chapter 33. Gratitude, right? So it's found on page 41. Divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 33, holy instructions from the prophet, gratitude. As the branches of a tree turneth their, excuse me, Morris, something in my eye. Instruction 1, as the branches of a tree returneth their sap to the root from whence it arose, as a river poureth its streams to the sea, whence the spring was supplied. So the heart of a grateful man delighteth in the returning of benefit received. Right? Do unto others as you want done unto yourself. That's what it's saying. Because if I do something for you, you should be grateful. Because I'm grateful I could do it. And that's the thing about me, what I noticed. I'm grateful to do things for people a lot. But see, the flesh is like, when I don't see that gratefulness received, it's like I did it for no. And that's the wrong thought. Because I didn't do it for no. Because what it says an incense will burn to Allah. That's the sacrifice. That's the sacrifice you put in front of Allah. What you do for others, because you ain't doing it for others, you're doing it for Allah. He acknowledgeth his obligation with cheerfulness. He looketh on his benefactor with love and esteem. And if to return it be not in his power, he nourishes the memory of it in his breast with kindness. He forgetteth it not all the days of his life. The heart of a grateful man is like the cloud of heaven, which drops upon the earth fruits, harvest, and flowers. But the heart of an ungrateful is like the desert of sand, which swalloweth with greediness the showers that fall, and burieth them in his bosom, and produceth nothing. Envy not thy benefactor, neither strive to conceal the benefit he hath conferred. For thou to oblige is better than to be obliged. Thou to the act of generosity commandeth admiration. Yet the humility toucheth the heart, and is amicable on the sight of both Allah and man. But receive not a favor from the hand of the proud. To the selfish and avarice have no obligation. The vanity of pride shall expose thee to shame. The greediness of avarice shall never be satisfied. That's a warning. So when you see it, you know what it looked like. Tell me, man. I know y'all seen it. You do something so big, or you sacrifice, you got your last dollar. Somebody asks for it. You love this individual. You give it to them. They don't know it's your last dollar. But they don't say thank you. They just take it and run. Wow. Should they care that that was your last dollar? They should. Because we don't know what anybody got going on in their life unless they tell us. But if we have a good heart, we understand gratitude. We understand thank you, appreciate it, because that energy is going to burn back to you and you'll still feel good about doing what you did. And all is well. If I said anything tonight It's from the body. Please pardon the body. If I said anything tonight that raises consciousness or spirits, it's from Allah alone who deserve praise. I'd like to thank the chairman for calling on me. I'd like to thank the Moors for listening with patience. I came in Islam and I leave brothers and sisters in peace. Peace.
Peace.
Come and go
With me to my father's house, Muslim, to my father's house, Muslim, to my father's house.
Come and go with me to my father's house, where there is peace, peace, peace. There's nothing but
Muslims there in my father's house, Muslims in my father's house, in my father's house.
There's
Nothing but Muslims there in my father's house. There is peace, peace, peace.
So come and
Go
go
with me to my father's house, Muslims, to my father's house, Muslims, to my father's house. Come and go with me to my father's house. There is peace, peace, peace.
Islam.
Islam.
Next time, brother King Turner Bay, reading from the Divine Instruction of the Holy Prophet, chapter 33, on instruction of gratitude. Just remind me of Sister Price Bay. Anytime you call, that's what she read. You read that chapter over and over. Anytime you call the speech, you read the gratitude. Gratitude, that's just remind me of. And it's deep because when we look at the mothers with those qualities and those instincts of knowing, sometimes they can tell when something is wrong. The vibration, the energy that you come in with. You may try to put some shade on it, but they know. Because that connection, that intuitiveness, you know, that intuitiveness, you just let you know when you come in that door and you can feel the vibration. Something, you were somewhere where you weren't supposed to be. I think we all bear witness to that, you know, with the parents, you know, and they're watching us and they see us growing and they're helping us, they're guiding us in certain ways. You know, they're doing the best that they can. And praise Allah that we found the Moorish Science of America.
Islam.
Praise Allah that we went that path. We went a lot of roads, but we came back to the right path. So praise Allah for that. At this time, I'd like to call the next speaker. Before I bring him forth, please give me undivided attention. I'd like to call our Assistant Grand Chief of Pimpernel Court, Brother W. Connecticut Bay, after a song.
If you see me working,
Working,
I'm building me a home.
If you see me working,
I'm building me a home. This earthly house will soon decay. When this soul of mine gonna find me a place. You see me teaching, I'm building me a home.
if you see me teaching,
I'm building me a home. This earthly house will soon decay. And this soul of mine will find me a place.
if you see me loving,
I'm building me a home.
if you
See me loving, I'm building me a home. This earthly house will soon decay. And this soul of mine will find me a place.
Islam, Moorish Americans.
Islam.
I rise and I give praise to the great God Allah, Father of the universe. Father of the universe. When I think about that, the universe is my family. And he's the father of the universe. And I always tell my wife, we've been discussing to do some writing, and I told her I want the first chapter to be listening to the universe. You know, it's very important. We know the nearest place we meet our lives in the heart.
We know if we're in a still small voice, we can listen
That's right.
and hear Allah. But if we look, we can see Allah all over. Allah is all, and all is in Allah. See, some people are trying to seek Allah, trying to seek God, trying to get closer to God. But God's everywhere. Let's go back to that movie Lucy. You know, as she got from 10% to 20% to 30%, they kept on showing different things, attributes, kept on coming out. Then all of a sudden they said, where is she? We don't see her. She's 100%. She's everywhere. Allah is the Father of the universe. The Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, praise Allah, came to bring us out of the darkness. And some of the darkness is some of our thoughts. Because as a man or woman thinketh, so he is. Yes, some of our brothers and sisters, good brothers and sisters still in the church, but their thoughts is wrong. They're good brothers and sisters. They're good brothers and sisters in the church, good brothers and sisters. They might call themselves atheists, good brothers and sisters, Jehovah's Witnesses, good brothers and sisters as Israelites, good brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam. Our cousins, our aunties, our family, our friends. We know there's good, there's bad, there's ugly. It doesn't mean they're good on the inside, it's just the character they're showing at this time. You see what I'm saying? The character. You know, one time I was teaching in Farrington, New Jersey, in the federal prison system when I first started off. Sister Dunbar Bays to take me around, and Brother Lovey to take me around. And she took me, and one time I was talking to these young brothers. I was like new, I was like 30-something years old. And, and I'm listening to these stories and everything. And I had to tell the brothers to be real. I said, the only difference between me and you right now is that you ran to the left and I ran to the right, bro. We was doing the same thing. You got caught. I didn't. It's like the brother was talking about his mom and telling him to go a certain way. Mm-hmm. I remember my mom asking me one day when she was in her late 80s, sitting there just relaxing for a second. She had a question for you. I said, what, Mom? She said, I want to know something. I used to send both my sons to the school bus stop to get on the bus. She said, how come you got on and your brother didn't? That's her question. She has a mother. I gave them both instructions. Fed them the same food, same environment. And why would one go and one wouldn't go? And I thought about it. I said, Ma, I told them. I remember being to myself, like, yo, we gotta get, like, I'm gonna go hang out. I'm like, yo, Mom said. And he just looked at me like, yeah, okay. But I was like, well, I said, the reason I got on the bus is because you told me to, Mom. That was the reason. That she had told me to. So now that we walk this life with the prophet's like that mother who's telling us what to do. It's telling you to go that way to the store. And then he gives you this nationality card and he puts it in your pocket. May the blessings of the Father God Allah be upon you that carry. Yeah. That's right. Carry the card. Assistant Chairman asked me one of the famous questions in the MSTFA that a co-worker asked him, what's the difference between the church and the temple? What's the difference between the church and the temple? Now, I wanted to originally say, sometimes the older mortals used to say stuff, and when you're young, you just take stuff people saying, you regurgitate it out. But then when you start thinking for yourself, you might love your father, you love your mother and your friend. You start thinking for yourself, like, I don't know, Dad. I hear you. I'm for you, but I'm not with that. Or I'm not with that. You see? And so when it says carry the card, when you start looking up the words, I didn't want to tell him what the elders told me, because when I looked it up, I remember looking at it like, it wasn't really on point. But it sounded good. And I'm not going to just tell my cousin or my aunt or my coworker something sounds good. I'm not going to tell the assistant chairman something. The chairman is just something that sounds good. So, of course, I had to, get a little older, forget some things, looked up real quick, did a couple Google searches and everything, and understand what is a church and what is a temple. And then when I have a clear understanding, I can see the difference. Because first of all, we're not Christians, so we're not going to gather. It's not a place where Christians gather to worship. So I'm not going to a place where Christians gather to worship. But if I'm coming in there, and the Prophet says, what's going to make it a temple? Because now the Muslim stepped in there. So it's not just all Christians coming to worship. Because I'm coming to worship, but I'm also coming to teach. I'm also coming to do other things that you do in the temple. I'm also coming to manifest the God in me. Not a God outside of me. I'm coming to living God.
That's right.
To shine my light. So the light comes into the darkness and spreads and opens up and becomes something different. You know, so we just kind of reflect on that more. You know, I'm happy to be in the temple. And I'm happy because when we look at our lives, and the Prophet used to make me look at my life, and he takes away all the excuses. Because there's always somebody that had that same situation you had, and they conquered it different than you did. So he takes away all the excuses. You know, I came from the project, but you see someone come from the projects and they shine in their light. So it's not just the projects. Or I didn't have a good mother, and you see someone that didn't have a good mother and they still shine their light. Or father, I didn't go to the right school, and you see someone who didn't go to the right school and their light still shine. So they overcome these different things. So the Prophet's taking away all the excuses, because excuses in your mind. And once you start to change, you know, what is more is science. You know, the true, when you start really analyzing what's more is science, it's not so much from astrology to zoology. It's not about the crescent and the star. It's not about the manifestation of the fez and the pyramid. It's the manifestation of the mind behind that. The mind that built a pyramid. A mind that built a fez. A mind that understood the concept of Ali. A mind that understands the line. It's behind the circle 7. The thought that's behind it. So when it says carry the card, I do what my mom told me to do, follow instructions. So if you haven't been carrying your card, start carrying your card. Well, you don't need the blessings. We're here in the atrocities of this world. Think about it. You know, did you see the image that the president of the United States of America put on our brother? You know what I'm saying? The former president and his wife. In an image with a monkey. Are you kidding me? No, you're not kidding me. It's real. The world we live in is a real world. The young people said, be real with me. Right? Be real. So it's not about being politically correct. That's something you want to achieve, but be real on your way. On the real, you aren't politically correct. You're not correct at all. You're not right in your mind and your thinking. And so when I heard, you know, when a representative of the United States of America, Secretary of State, talk about we're a superpower and we have to act like a superpower, I started thinking about what the Prophet said. Rome, you got me 2,000 years ago, but I got you today. Because that's how Rome was thinking. That's how the Greeks was thinking. That's even our brothers and sisters, whether they was in Egypt, whether they was in Persia, whether they was any part. When you start thinking that you are super and you can manifest, that's that chapter right there, where the stronger ate the bodies of the weaker manifest. And survival of best became the law. You see, but that's the man law. You see, but once the law governs all events, that means you join the Moorish Science of America and you take that card, and the Grand Sheikh or the chairman give you that card, and they tell you it's a blessing to come and carry the card, and you're under these laws, and the charter says you pledge yourself to the edicts of the Moorish Science of America, and the Prophet Noble Dwelling, and you go out there and you don't do that, that's just the law. It ain't a police officer like I'm going to see on the Jersey Turnpike later tonight, sitting in the cut, waiting for you to come speeding down the highway. It's not a police officer on a corner in the dark waiting for you to run the red light or go past the stop sign soon. It's not like that. That's not how gravity works. The law is everywhere. And it's on everybody. He ain't no policeman. The law is the police. And so when you violate the law, when I violate the law, it comes back to me. And so like the brother was saying before me, when it says in chapter 3, it talks about those who are pure in heart. You see, and I said, well, I want to be pure in heart. But Peter said, you want to be pure in heart?
No.
But Ferguson, you want to be pure in heart? We want to be pure in heart. But when I go and I get the MRI and they look into the heart and everything, they see all these impurities up in there. And Brother Lovia used to say, well, if you only have a certain capacity for the room, like if you look and you see a thing from the fire department, say only 100 people can fit in this room. He said, well, if you got your heart, Brother Lovia used to teach us, if your heart is filled with all of this hate and lust and lewdness and murders, it's filled with that, what you got to do is you put a little bit out and bring a little love in. You move a little bit more out and move a little more love in. See, so you might have come into the temple, and even in the violence, man, you can't even come in. The worst you can come in here is 99% evil. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst. You can't come in here 100%. So the Grand Sheik can see that 1%. We see the 1%. Well, the chairman said, well, I think we could push it to 2% by the end of the year. You see what I'm saying? And then more keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. And Brother Turnabay talking, Sister Jordan Hill talking, Brother Peters Hill talking, Brother Smith Hill talking. They come in the temple, we're saying the prayer, saying the prayer, saying the prayer. Next thing you know, he's sitting there on the bus, he's sitting there chaining his arm. He said, well, I think I got principles. Well, he's like, why am I saying that? So that's what it's about, more. And I don't care. You can look at me and say, well, Brother Turnabay, he got only 60% love and he's 40% hate. And okay. And I'm this and I'm that. When I can get to the loud professor and like I said, the people, the courtesan, the thief and all of that, it's not about that. Because at the end of the day, we all, and when mom comes, whether I got on the bus and my brother didn't, she loves us both. And human equality says we're all equal in our sight. Doesn't mean that she's happy with me if I don't get on the bus. Doesn't mean the prophet's not happy with me. So let me read from the Holy Quran in More Scientific America. Thank the Grand Sheik just for giving me an opportunity to speak at a turn, but I just, let me say this one thing more is to help you along the way, right? When you're young, right? I don't know if you ever partied hard, partied through the night, like went through the night without no sleep, and maybe went to work, hung out some more the next night. I don't know how much energy you might have had as you growing up. In a certain period of time, you realize something about energy, real about your life. And you realize that if you're gonna do a certain pace, you got a family, you got a job, you got responsibilities, that you have to look at it as a marathon. Like that camel, endurance, And see, in a marathon, you can't go out there busting out and just, hey. Because what's going to happen after 3 miles? You got 26 miles to do in a marathon. You're going to do that across the Staten Island Bridge. You're going to get to Brooklyn, you out. You never even got to Queens. You never got to the Bronx. That's right. So the marathon is that you got to find your pace. You got to find the pace. And there might be times when you have to slow up a little, times when you got to go a little faster, catch up with the pack or whatever. But you got to find your rhythm. Because I remember in the beginning, I used to burn myself out. I was burning out my family, loving on the prophet. The prophet said, don't put a burden on my more. So I had to find a way to take a pace. And then I had to find a way that, because there's so much to uplift and fallen humanity. I mean, you can literally go out there and just give your life to your neighborhood. And that's just like a little tiny dent. So the thing about it is if you're going to do this over a lifetime, you got to find that pace. You got to find your pace. This way you don't get burned out. There's a lot of mental illness in our communities. A lot of our fathers and mothers have worked 2 jobs and 3 jobs, raised families, and then get there where the president of the United States will put an image that you're not even a human being. So many factors, from the mental slavery to what's out there in reality, and then put on top of that, you're a woman, and you're an Asiatic woman. You know what I'm saying? And so you put all of that on there, you have to find a way to get that harmony within the storm, And I know it's hard sometimes, because if you don't do it and you find yourself weak, then the lower self gets you. You see, then you get in your feelings. Everybody gets in their feelings, right? Michaela, she could get in her feelings. You see what I'm saying? Right? I can get in my feelings. Grandma can get in her feelings. I've seen Ali, the brother R. Jones May, get in his feelings. You know what I'm saying? If you're around someone long enough. I remember driving all the way to St. Louis with Brother Love Hill. And there was moments where he got in his feelings, and I was kind of like, at first, I was like, well, you're Brother Love Hill. You can't say that. You can't have your face made up like that. But it happens. But the thing about it, when it happens, is you have to grab yourself. Because what? You've been studying yourself, right? But trying to make you know yourself. I know myself. You get to that point, you're like, boom. And then we help each other as brothers and sisters, because when I can't see myself, right, y'all can see me. When you can't see yourself, I can see you. So this is how we help each other. But it's in a positive thing. You know, it's like when you're in a big family, well, Cyrus here used to talk about this. I don't know what family you came from. But he would fight with his brothers, literally fight. And I know that my brothers would fight each other. Put holes in the wall. The way my younger brother learned to be a better wrestler than my older brother, because once he grabbed him, he knew he couldn't let him go because he would hurt. If he let him go, he's gonna beat him up. So he would have to hold him till mom and dad got home or someone got him. So he would find all kind of ways to hold him, you know. But then after the day, I seen my young bonus daughters fight each other. Then I said something to them. That's my sister. I love her. And she said it mean too. Like, okay. So the bottom line is that we learn how to love.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And the Prophet Muhammad said it's not how a man or woman handles prosperity, but how they handle adversity. You see? Now when adversity comes, when the snow comes, when the wind comes tomorrow, when adverse things come, it's how you handle them. And even if you get knocked down, take a knee. Take a knee, take a deep breath. Get up, dust yourself off, get back in there. You know, but the thing about it is you have to understand that when you're going through it, you have to take a look at yourself. You see, this is how you get from acting a certain way when you're 19, then when you're 29, and you're 39, and you're 49, and you're 59, and when you're 79. Hopefully you learn different things. So let me read a little bit from chapter 3. Page 7, Divine Instruction on Holy Prophet, chapter 3, Elihu's Lessons, the Unity of Life. Again, Elihu met his pupils in a sacred grove and said, no man live unto himself, for every living thing is bound by cords to every other living thing. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will love and not demand love in return. They will not do to other men what they would not have other men do unto them. And it's easy to say that. You see? Because a lot of men, including myself, we got these mommy issues. You see? Mom was our comforter. You know, mom was the one who made the boo-boo okay. You know? If you didn't have a mom like that, maybe you had a mother figure like that was there for you. And then when you get out in this world and you get older, it's like you say to yourself, you don't need that, but you're always looking for that. You're looking for that in your girl, for your woman. You're looking for that. So you start toughening up because you're not getting it. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not getting it. And so if I don't get it, I don't give it. And you start going down the wrong road. See, if you start with that self-love, which we don't really learn about that. But in the Moorish Scientific America, you start to love yourself. You start to love the spirit of Allah that's in you. You start to realize that the pure in heart. I said, well, I want to be pure in heart, right, Brother Peter Zeal? Right? You with me, Brother Peter Zeal? Islam. So how you doing, Mo? All is well. Been a long week, right? Long day. So praise Allah. You know, I've been thinking about this statement from the Prophet. The Prophet says that I think how he says, the prophet says, only thing that surprised me
If the Moors do right.
if the Moors do the right thing, right? And it used to always, as you go through the temple so many years, when you see a Moor do the right thing, it surprises you. But you know what? The prophet didn't mention this, but we should assume this, right? He's talking about a pleasant surprise. You see what I'm saying? You have surprises, right? Oh, I'm surprised. But then there's a pleasant surprise. So let's surprise them more. Let's surprise the prophet. I'm going to try to surprise the prophet. He said, well, Brother Kandene may do good. He surprises the prophet. But it's a pleasant surprise. So praise Allah for the Moors. Happy Holy Day.
Happy Holy Day.
There's a little wheel
a turning, a little wheel a turning, there's a little wheel a turning in my heart.
Oh, there's a little wheel a
turning, turning,
little wheel a turning.
Happy Holy Day. Little wheel a turning in my heart.
Oh, must be the love of
Allah, must be the love of Allah.
must be the love of
Allah in my heart.
Oh, yes, it must be the love of Allah. Must be the love of Allah.
Must be the love of Allah in my heart.
Oh, don't you doubt it.
Oh, don't you doubt it. Oh, don't you doubt it in your heart.
Oh, Muslim, oh, don't you doubt it.
Oh, don't you doubt it. Oh, don't you doubt it in your heart.
It's that
Old time religion. Old time religion. Old time religion in your heart.
oh, it's that
Old time religion. Old time religion. Old time religion in your heart.
Islam.
Islam.
I think I was Sister Grand Chief. The Kandene for reading for the divine instruction from the Holy Prophet. Chapter 3, Holy instruction for the Prophet. Hebrews lesson, the unity of life. You know, we know every living thing is bound by quality, every other living thing. So no matter how we act and how we do, we are connected. We got to deal with others. You know, we deal with certain energy, you got to be able to deal with it. You might be in the midst, you might be the only one that's going to get caught up. You know? I mean, you must be strange, man. What's wrong with you? You ain't been acting like you used to act before. No, because you find a new road. You find a new way to get around this situation and these conditions. You know, as we grow and develop. Praise Allah. I'd like to thank you for reading and also for some of the examples. I can probably say, I can get you to think you can save yourself. That's what it's all about. Let's think so we can save ourselves. Praise Allah. At this time, I'd like to call on the last speaker, even before I bring her forward. Please give her your undivided attention. I'd like to call her Grand Speaker number 34, Speaker number 34. Sister Sia Seals here after the song. We're marching.
Marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love. We're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
Now if you
Wanna know where we're at, that beautiful city of love.
into the holy city
For a bite's been found.
that beautiful
City of love. Now we're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
We marching.
We're marching into Mecca, that beautiful city of love.
Is where the
Physical part of man was first formed.
that beautiful
City of love.
at the east gate.
The chairman with the flaming sword.
That beautiful
City of love.
Now we're marching.
We're marching into Mecca,
that beautiful
that beautiful city of love.
Now we're marching.
We're marching into Mecca,
That beautiful.
that beautiful city of love.
Islam.
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 Praise Allah.
Allah.
Happy Holy Day.
Happy Holy Day.
Well, first I rise and I give praise to the great God of the universe. The author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, incomprehensible. To him alone belongs worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praise. I say praise Allah. I give honors to our prophet, the last prophet in these days and time, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Egyptian Arab student. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about the different degrees that were communicated to us just by what we can look at here in our divine instructions. So we see the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, right? Then we learned that our prophet is Jesus come again. Then on the divine constitution and bylaws, it says Noble Drew Ali, founder. And so I was thinking about the separations, right? The divine constitution and bylaws. I was thinking about how the concepts are alternated so that you can see and understand these instructions from different perspectives. So now with this, the thought that I was having was as we give honors to our prophet, right? We may have basic understandings, but you'd be surprised. I've met Moors that, identify as Moorish American that don't know about the prophet. How did that happen? Because the concept, right? Because this is for our earthly and divine salvation. So they may have heard about the earthly concept without the divine attachment. But that still means that they're missing out on a fraction of their birthright.
That's wrong.
I like to give honors to Brother Marcus Garvey. Up, you mighty race, you could accomplish what you will. Like with just hearing it, when you hear certain phrases and certain things that's said, you think about the strength in the person if you take the time to process it that way.
That's wrong.
You think about what drove them to be at that stage to where they were up outside amongst the public. There were no cameras in those days to record who might have done what. It could have been very dangerous in the communities to speak about certain things.
That's wrong.
Could have been very dangerous just to go home at night. There were a lot of things that were happening that was reported throughout the nation. Newspapers, right? Some of the things that were happening just to people's homes, things that were happening inside of churches even in that time, let alone to individuals.
That's wrong.
So what I was thinking, the kind of strength, the concept of courage enough for truth, courage enough. It's not about the concept of being a hero, but it's the concept of having the courage enough for truth, recognizing the foes that are surrounding us, recognizing that there are things that are existing in this world that we live in here and now that can pose a danger.
That's wrong.
But to understand the purpose, the importance of truth. And then it goes, the courage. Do you believe in your prophet?
That's wrong.
Do you believe in the divine instructions?
That's wrong.
Do you believe that death is no enemy of man,
Mm-hmm.
but a friend? That's a challenge, Morris. That's a heavy degree. When we think about even just the transition in services, when I'm just honest to all of those that have transitioned just within this month, the past couple of years, may they sail on smoother seas and may Allah be pleased with their works. But when someone transitions out of all the different instructions in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? Is the first one not you think of, but the first one you think to share with their family is, that's no enemy of man, it's just a friend. That not be the first one. I hope not, if it's not a Moorish American. I hope that if this person is in the community, that wasn't your first thought, to communicate that. Because wise words are uttered in due season. Wisdom speaks from out the highest plane of spirit life. Our prophet is coming from a high point of communication. So I hope you're not just out here throwing out these secret lessons without properly tailoring it for the person who's receiving it. When Sister M. Serenity was born, you know, there was rice in there that I could have cooked. I could have, you know, blended down some nice spinach, you know, make sure she had her vitamins. I could have blended down all kinds of things for her as a newborn, but would it have been healthy based on her palate, on her ability to digest and process that kind of food, based on the size of her stomach? Would I have been overfeeding and causing problems in the body? Doesn't change that the food that was there is of great quality. Could have been organic, grown from my own garden if I had one. And what? It's still about due season, making sure the time is right. I could have prepared it beautifully, but that's not what all that matters, because we know that these instructions are divinely prepared. But how are we delivering? Many want to see the life being lived to know that it works.
It's not.
You can tell all day, it's for good, peace, and happiness. Muslims, all those that love Jesus, I'm telling you, good, peace, and happiness. And then they see you, and all the time you look upset. You look disturbed, like there is no peace. You have the hard drawn line of toils on your brow. It's going to be a little challenging for them to receive that message through you. It's going to be a little challenging. For some, maybe, you know, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll look and they'll hear it and they're like, all right, well, maybe you're just using it wrong. Maybe they'll be thinking and they're like, all right, well, maybe we can work together and make this work. There are some. There are many people in this community and all of the world. There's much wisdom to be learned amongst the descendants of Africa. We know that Africa has a lot of descendants based on the way they talk about it, even in history, the way they talk about it geographically. That's where life started. So that means everybody got to learn. Everybody's got to learn. That's what I'm hearing. But I want to give honors to all of the past Supreme Great Advisors and moderators of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother C. Kirkman Bey, Brother F. Nelson Bey, and Brother J. Blakely Bey. I want to give honors to the past Grand Sheik and moderator, Brother R. LaVille, and to the present Grand Sheik and moderator, Brother R. Jones Bey, and to his assistant, Brother A. Hopkins Bey. I want to give honors to our chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother T. Hopkins Bey, and to his assistant, Brother J. Gibbs Eel. I want to give honors to our secretaries, our Sister Secretary, Sister W. Wright Bey, and to her assistant, Sister A. Ravenel Bey. I want to give honors to our treasurers, Sister S. Jones Bey, and to Sister P. Smith Bey, her assistant. I want to give honors to our financial secretary, Sister N. Johnson Bey, and I want to give honors to all of those who are working for the uplifting of fallen humanity in public and private, national, state, local, in your home, in your mind. Some of the greatest things started in the mind before they reached the hand. The phone, television, microwaves, right? We haven't listened to these things. Somebody's saying, phones, no, that was probably one of the worst inventions ever made. Television, oh my goodness. They tell you all kinds of things that you can't trust. Microwaves, oh my goodness, they're nuking your food. But those things that can be used for good can also be used for harm, can also bring about harm. And it's all a matter of perspective. For someone who's not able to prepare food, doesn't have a gas stove, doesn't have a way to heat things up, and that microwave might carry them a little further than not. Might do a little more for their family than not. Now, if you have the ability to do other than, and you find that that's better for you, praise Allah. I was thinking about a lot of the things that the prophet has said, right? I'm just, and my mind just running through so many things, you know. Praise Allah and honors to our prophet, because there's no way I would have gotten all of these particular instructions in a snippet like this. There's no way. I could read books that have had things that I found in there that are very similar. You know, they go about the Aquarian Gospels. There's so many things by Levi H. Dowling. Oh. And I was sitting here to myself, and I was saying to myself, like, these are divine instructions. The prophet, and I remember, being a very new Moorish American into the community and going down to Harlem, where everybody was, because that's where the Moorish community was, if you knew. And going down, and I remember going to the class, and the sister's like, yeah, they at the door. They're like, oh, that's a $10 donation. I said, all right. I went to sit down. Oh, sister, you can't just sit down. Donations are optional. Are they not? Are y'all not teaching law? Then they want you to be quiet because they want everybody to use this line. This is my experience, right? And I said to myself, when they said the word donation, it was meant so that they wouldn't be, so harm wouldn't come their way for collecting finance, because a donation is a gift. But they didn't think about the harm that might be coming others' ways who may not be able to afford it. So instead of leaving it at a suggested donation, it was capped at 10. And so those are things that I walked in with as far as aspects of character discernment. So I didn't have all these instructions from the Holy Prophet, but there were aspects of character discernment. So when it talks about, again, the nationality is the constant and quality of one's character that arises from the fact of belonging to a nation or a state. Wherefore its consciousness repose unto thee alone.
That's right.
It's not in flesh to think, and it's not in bones to reason. The soul remained perfect even in the bosom of a fool. And I thought about that, I thought about the different mental health communities. They look different. I've seen people from other countries who have same diagnoses according to modern day science, but depending on the community they live in, their level of resourcefulness looks different. I've seen it look different, function different. There are some places where they talk about the deeper appreciation for womanhood. There are places where they actually speak about it. And I started to think about it. Why? And then I thought to myself, well, of course, beyond just my own bias, right? Because I'm a sister. Of course we should have a deeper appreciation for women here. Ta-da! We're born. No. The higher self is the mother of virtues. The mother of virtues and the harmonies of life. It breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. The holy breath. She, the holy breath, fulfill earth again. The soul, guard her, for she is rash. Everything is referred to in the concept of the feminine when it comes to all of your creation. Your physical development, your spiritual development, and your soul. Now I started to think about it. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. If we limited or stopped reproduction and productivity, the nation stops. Growth, development, life would essentially cease if there were no more births, no more creations, right? And that usually comes forth. And I'm not talking about the seahorses, because if Sister M. Serrano Bay was on this side, she would remind me that the seahorses, aren't female or male, right? And so the connection, though, the understanding of life being necessary in order to experience the soul and the spirit in the flesh. Because if you tore yourself away, debase yourself to gratify these desires here, right? You wanted to come and learn. You wanted to come and do something, figure something out. And in this particular form of your consciousness, you may not be able to recall exactly what that is. but you tore yourself away and debased yourself to gratify your lower self. So now just know that you're here doing what you're supposed to do to get back to where you needed to be. I'm gonna, Brother J. Petersville had read the chapter that I was gonna read for today, and I said, praise Allah, there are no happenings. Law governs all events. And so I'm gonna still camel walk with my brother on the chapter that he read for us today, found on page number 44, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter number 36, holy instructions from the Prophet, know thyself. I'm gonna go down starting at instruction number 6, since today is February 6th. And I was thinking, because 2 days ago was my mom's transition service, right? Her memorial service. And I was thinking about it, and I'm back at my mom's space because I've been taking care of my stepfather. And I've been trying to hold out so that I can make sure that I can get there with him when they decide, because they want to take him to a short-term rehab to work on his balance. I have a lot of falling, a lot of things been going on because he had a brain injury from a motorcycle accident years ago, right? And so I know that part of myself. I know that I'm going to go back and help those that are in my family that have been there for me. And not just in my family, those that have been there for me. As those reach a decline of life, this is something that's inside of me. I know that I'm pulled to do, right? Either coming into life, the decline of life, a transitional period in the middle between, that's fine. I know that this is what I've been called to do, because when I don't do it, I'll have those concepts of regrets, right? And feeling of what I should have done. And I'll know certain things. There's just things that I'll just know. And then I'm there on time, right when I need to be. And there are no happenings. Law governs all events, right? Know thyself. Know the illusions of the world, right? And then you can know what's real. Because you'll be able to start to see all the folly. And at a point you realize what's real. It's the same thing with the truth. You start to hear connecting factors, even just amongst different religions and even amongst things that are considered just spiritual and non-religious. You'll start to hear a unifying line. Oh, yeah, they said that here. Okay, all right. Honor and respect. That's something that runs in almost all things, even in those who practice occult aspects that aren't looking for the divine side of Allah. Those that are looking toward the darker side, they even speak about aspects of honor. Honor is something that's repeated, wherever you are. I'm going to read again from instruction number 6. It says, something is added to thee, unlike what thou seest. So wait a minute, we made an image after the likeness of Allah, but something else is there that we don't see. Unlike what we see, unlike. So the things that we're seeing, there's something added, but it's unlike the things that we're seeing. Something informs thy clay. Now that was the most mysterious thing. I don't know if the Morse caught that. Something. That's question mark. Question mark informs thy clay. Think about a math equation. That's unknown. That'll be the X marks the spot. Yes. Thank you, Brother Petersville. He got fancy in the back, Morse. He said it's a variable. Absolutely is. Praise be to Allah. I appreciate you. Now it continues. It says, something informs thy clay, higher than all is the object of thy senses. Higher than all. The object of your senses, the object itself of your senses. Let every member exercise his 5 senses who's able to do so. Now it continues. And this is why we should be, exercising those 5 senses. If you just caught this, because it's something added to thee, unlike what thou seest. Something informs thy clay, higher than all is the object of thy senses. Behold, what is it? Exactly my point. Question mark. That's exactly what it was. Now it continues. And it like leads up to a mystery. Like if it's almost one of those kind of, can you guess? Can you guess who? Do you have a clue? And now it continues, right? It goes, well, these are the clues. The body remained perfect after it is fled. Therefore, it is no part of it. It is immaterial. Therefore, it is eternal. It is free to act. Therefore, it is accountable for its actions. So now this takes the guessing work out of it because it's not a game. This goes, this is what it's going to look like. And this is how you know there's something else there. So it's giving you the proof because they know that there's a level of inquiry inside of you that's going to want to know. All right, you can tell me all these things. Something's added to me unlike what I seek. Oh, okay, I don't believe that. Then you go, the body remained perfect after it is fled. You're like, wait a minute. I've seen something. I've seen things transition. And they do remain in whatever state they were in right before the transition happened. And so now, you have to factor into your mind now, well, what was that thing that made them alive? They still, nobody took the heart out. Nobody took the brain out. Nobody drained the blood. There's something else. Unlike what we see. So now it gives you the proof of it. I'm going to round up around here. It says, I'm going to continue further down. Instruction number 10. Know thyself and the pride of his creation. The line uniting divinity and matter. Behold, a part of Allah himself within thee. Remember thine own dignity, nor descend to evil or to meanness. That concept of the crocodile being erect. I had thought I was, when Brother Peterson read the chapter, and I was thinking about it. To stand upright allows you to be positioned or oriented toward the sun, right? And I'm like, all right, so you're oriented toward the sun, as they would call, the heavens above. Because, the heavens, people might think of as a place, but I've known it as like the sky, literally, like the sky. Heavens above and the heavens below would have been the water. That's how I understood it at a point in my life. So with that, as you're erect, you're able to be observing of the sky, but also of the horizon all at once. So you get to see all three, if you will. You get to see the above, you get to see the center, and you get to see down below. Whereas there may not be, how many else can say that they can do that with a level of consciousness that's not human? This is where it changes. No matter how big the whale is, how much of the earth is he able to see? Can he see out of the water? How many different trees? What can he adore? What part of the creation can they adore? Because these are intelligent creatures. What parts of the creation? So we can observe the whales in the water, the birds in the sky, the trees on the land, the potatoes that grow under the earth. There's a different degree of ability that we were given. All of us. This doesn't matter if you're financially well off or financially deprived. These are your gifts. You have this ability. You can observe the sun. Yes. This is for you. So all of us were made. But why? And then it tells you, you got to recognize. That's what admiring in this sense is. Recognize. Recognition. And it continues. Once you recognize the harmony in its creation, the intelligence in the design, your natural response will be to adore it. You go into nature and you see the sand cat and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm not really a cat person, but this is so cute. You go out and you watch the ferocity of a grizzly bear, you're like, whoa, I won't be going out there unprotected. But it's the same thing when we think about thee who created. Are you going to go out there unprotected? What have you guarded yourself with? Have you armed yourself with resolution? How do you begin to do that? Consider your state. Consider where you are. Consider your state of mind. Know what pushes you. Know when you're being pushed. Know that it's not because of anything outside of you, but it's all what's happening within you.
That's right.
That you're allowed to get pushed to these points. And it takes time. It takes time. But it's possible to conquer that. It's possible to give up certain addictions. Addictions to vanity. Addictions to fame. Addictions to compliments. Addictions to food. Addictions to drink. Alcohol. Whatever you have an addiction to, there is that ability within you. I ain't say go and do everything and give up everything all at once, because it'll tear you up. But allow yourselves the right to your own dignity. Remember, there's something else added on to thee. May Allah be pleased with all of our works. I want to just give honors to our chairman, Brother I. Smith Hill. I know he wanted to extend his Islam to the Moors. He wasn't able to be here today, but he definitely gave us the heads up and let us know. And so Islam, Brother I. Smith Hill, the Moors came around and showed up for you. I want to give honors to our Brother Steve Ferguson Hill. I know the brother was here. You know, can't tell him. Our brother know how to set up that Zoom, all right? My brother know how to get that laptop up, open, running, going, plugged in, Wi-Fi connected. Praise Allah and honors to our dear brother for being here and being the soldier that he is. I know the Moors might be looking, I know the Moors said something before. What was it? Oh, you got to give him the emeritus, but only when he's ready to retire. There will be no pushing here. I am grateful to have our dear brother. A lot of, if we go and observe the storks, right? We talk about the storks, but if you observe a lot of nature, a lot of creation, they actually honor, protect, and surround their senior populations. Elephants will slow down the whole herd, like, hold on, Grandpa needed a rest, all right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna draw a circle around him and let him take a nap if he needs to. But the concept, when you look back into nature, and the elephants are the Moorish guard dogs. So just looking at those things and developing that appreciation. But again, Morris, may Allah be pleased with our works. May Allah be pleased with our families. May Allah be pleased with our trials and tribulations. I'm not one that believes that because you are going through hard times in life, no matter how back to back they come, that's because you messed up here or you're doing this there. That I believe that you were fit for the gym. Because without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength. So you are fit to figure out how strong you are. And it may not feel good in our current state of thinking, but if you recognize that the only way you can take an exam for the doctorates is because you passed the classes that were necessary, then when you look at these foes that are coming, if you recognize that these are the classes necessary to develop the strength that you already have within that you may have forgotten, you may be able to just look at it from a different light. Well, I'll be pleased. Again, Morris. Happy Holy Day. Peace.
Peace. Can you feel it in your soul? A change is coming on from every walk of life. People are seeking the light. Can you feel it in your heart now? A new world is taking shape. With Prophet Jubilee, we learn to love instead of hate. Reach out and touch your hand. Make a friend if you can. Reach out and touch your hand. And make a friend if you can. Well, what about you, my friend? Why don't you come on in? Join the Moors today and make this world a better place. Reach out and touch your hand.
Make a friend if you can. Reach out and touch a hand. And make a friend if you can. Well, praise Allah, you see. He sent us through Ali, a prophet of humanity. He brought the truth to make us free. Reach out and touch a hand. Make a friend if you can. Reach out and touch a hand. And make a friend if you can. Islam.
Islam.
I'd like to thank our grand keepers for reading for the divine instruction from the Holy Prophet, chapter 36, Holy instruction from the Prophet, know thyself, instruction 6, 7, and 10, and emphasizing on the question and the formula. You know, you gotta find out what the formula is. And it all end up with a question. It's for us to figure it out. You know, like the brother was talking about math. You know, solving problems. We are solving problems they have to us here. And one is sure trying so we can solve these problems that. Praise the Lord. Thank you for words and for your instruction. At this time, I read the morning. January 15, 1929. Prophet warns all Muslim governors order re-proclamation and needed. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, on the street. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans and cause confusion. Remember your cause is for your salvation. Great of these orders will be a severe consequence. We have about you peace and freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice then will stay its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet will violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid out to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn their card button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Ali. As the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet to the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble Ali. Peace.
Peace.
Allah.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. Islam. Good. Islam, for my grand teachers to do the announcement. This is our sister.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Sister, our sister secretary is still trying to bounce back more, but she did communicate some of the announcements. Nothing new, just basic housekeeping, basic maintenance. I hope our sister feels better in due time. I hope that all the malls are doing well and taking it easy throughout these little humps and chunks of snow. So let's on more. It's just so you know, again, during Secretary's time, you're able to make donations through our PayPal, our Zelle, which is linked to our Moorish Science Temple, no.34@gmail.com. That's both PayPal and Zelle. And our Cash App is $MSTA34. Also, we have civics classes held on Wednesdays. I believe the next one is this upcoming Wednesday of next week. And I don't have the calendar right here in front of me. Just one moment. It should be the 11th. Also, Morris, Thursdays. We have Thursday question and answers. Thursday question and answers hosted by our AGS, Brother W. Clendenin Bay. Islam, you can log on in. I know that we get a little links. I know the Moors are familiar with where to find the Thursday question and answer Quran class. Also, temple meetings we have on our Friday. We have Holy Day, as such as today, starting at 7:30, ending generally at 9:30, where we lower into secretary time. Sunday school, hosted by our Sunday school instructors. Sunday school instructor, Brother El Serrano Bay, and assistant Sunday school instructor, Sister J. Jordan Ill. You can meet us here via Zoom or in the temple at 2 o'clock on Sundays. That's the time to ask any questions, any concerns regarding your understanding. As of now, you can ask those questions. Feel free. That's the time. Also, we have our Facebook page and our Instagram page. Moors are already familiar. I know we don't have any new guests on the line right now, but just to run through the Moors that did log in for the Holy Day, I just want to run through the names that I see here. I see Brother S. Sulaimu Bey, Islam there, Brother Sheikh. Happy Holy Day. I see Brother J. Davis Ill, Islam, Brother Davis Ill, Islam, Sister Carissa.
Islam.
Islam, happy Holy Day.
Happy Holy Day.
I see my dear brother, Brother J. Coleman Ill. Islam, dear brother, I saw your hand up earlier too. It was already late. Brother Chairman was already in the move, so we didn't get to call you. But I just want you to know that I did see your hand, and it wasn't an intentional disregard. May Allah be pleased.
All is well. Praise Allah.
Happy Holy Day.
Happy Holy Day, Lord.
It looks like our AGS jumped on the line. I mean, he'd be traveling safely. Brother W. Clinton Bay, he was able to make it out today. Also, we have our Sunday school instructor, Brother L. Serrano Bay, on the line. I know the brother's at work. May he have a great day and also travel safely. I know iPhone, that usually is our Brother F. Spalding Bay, Brother Sheik, Islam, happy Holy Day. And my Sister E. Jones Bay and family. Islam and happy Holy Day, my beautiful sister. May Allah be pleased. Always a pleasure to see you and know that you're here.
Praise Allah.
Peace.
Thank you, Moors. Thank all the Moors. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Islam, Brother Coleman Hill.
Islam. Happy Holy Day to all the Muslims all over the world. First, I would like to rise to give praise to Allah and honors to His holy and divine prophet. I want to give honors to everything that the chairman, the assistant chairman gave honors to. And I would like to turn your attentions to chapter 25, the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when he separate in the world, remember the relations that binded you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother's in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his cares be continued to you all, and your love to each other. Peace.
Peace. Thank you, Moor.
Praise Allah.
Thank you.
Gratitude.
Always.
So I got a question.
Islam.
Praise and knowledge already given. Is tag day March 17th or May 17th?
March 17th.
March.
So we got one coming out.
Yeah.
Coming out.
I don't know what day it is.
March 17th, yeah.
Exactly. Islam.
Islam. And thank you for mentioning that. I had spoken briefly with Sister Right Bay. She did let us know that she should try to get us out the just some of those events, Family Day, Tag Day, just to get it to us in advance so that we can prepare to head out. So more is just in advance. You know, it's coming up March, right here in February. So if we're planning to take that trip together and we're going to be traveling together, Make sure we have the finance ready. It'll be generally, depending on how many of us, but I'm gonna say at minimum, bring at least $60, that's round trip to New Jersey, rest stops included, stop and back, just so that we're not essentially drawing funds just from the temple alone. Note, we do pay for Zoom, we do pay for the rent in the building, we pay for insurance, we have supplies, just a lot of basic things that we're covering. And it's not like we have a steady, consistent number as far as what the income would look like. So we want to make sure that when we do pull from the treasury, generally there's some type of emergency need or things that we're handling, maintenance of the building. But if we're going to be traveling and commuting, let's try to do our due diligence to ensure that we're not pulling funds just from the treasury. So again, just if you want to travel out, just to be prepared. We'll be leaving from the temple. All the time we'll be leaving from the temple, and it'll be about a $60 donation for the trip.
Did they pick a date when it's gonna be? Because I know 17 is during the week. Can we do it after or before?
No, Sister Right There says she's gonna let me know. You know, when you're the Grand National Secretary, your hands can get full quickly.
So, just had another quote too. Wanted to share with the Moors. Going through the journeys, I was looking up some information, and I see that certain financial institutions, they have certain accounts that they're like invest the money for you. I'm not sure what type of account is listed, but it's not a bad idea. It's like only thing you just have to keep a certain amount of money in the account. I think you receive like 3 to 4% every month on whatever it is that you put in having it. Just for the most thing about be generating some finance we're not doing nothing.
Praise Allah, absolutely. When you mentioned that, I know that Cash App has actually been doing that when you use their savings feature. That they offer a certain incentive for anyone to be able to save, and they get a certain APR back. But I don't want to pretend to be a financial executive. It's always great to do your due diligence and research, and I appreciate you sharing that, dear brother, for considering the Moors.
Yeah, praise the Lord. Islam, give me attention to Grand Sheikah as she reads the financial report. Islam.
Moorish Science Temple of America, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder, Temple number 34, finance received for February 6, 2026. 237-239 Hancock Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11216. We received public collection, $5, uplifting fund, $5, traveling fund, $5, and local building fund, $5, leaving our grand total today in person of $20, with an attendance of 13. Peace.
Hey. You heard the reading of the financial report. What's the will and pleasure of the Moors? on, brother.
I move that the financial report be accepted with any necessary corrections if there be.
Can I get a second? Islam.
Second.
Was moved by Brother James Peters here, second by Brother Kate Interfaith. The financial report and attendance be accepted with necessary correction as they be any. You hear the motion, I'm ready for the question.
Question.
All in favor of this motion, show by the word, vote for the vote. Praise Allah. Secretary would note that the motion has been carried.
Harry.
Yeah.
Praise Allah.
Oh, that was brother, cause anybody had his hand up?
He voted, yeah, he was letting know that he,
Yeah, it's Allah.
praise Allah.
Yeah. Be safe, Greg, AGS. On your journey.
Send him an unmute request, he's probably driving around.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
can hear you, definitely.
Yeah, praise Allah, more.
Praise Allah.
I'd like to thank everyone for the contribution.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. All right, AGS. I'd like to thank everyone for the contribution physically, spiritually, and financially. I pray Allah continue to guide us. I pray Allah continue to protect us. I pray Allah continue to shield us against all negative forces, seen and unseen. And don't forget your hourly prayer. And pray out to heal the world. Because we deal with a mad human drama. But Allah give us the remedies. Probably give us the remedies to work with it. Or work through it. All right? Is there anything else, Grand Chief?
Again, just look out again over the weekend. It's supposed to be the changes again in weather. Might be more ice coming out because it's going to be some snow flurries. They threaten just a little bit of snow flurries. Just be mindful as you're traveling, as you're commuting. Just watch where you're stepping. There's a lot of asphalt, so that's the part where that black ice definitely disguises itself. We know black, according to science, means death. Moors, watch out on there on that black ice. Exactly. Praise Allah. You be safe too, there, brother. And just again, try to drink warm teas if you're able. Try to keep your body hydrated with warm fluids, room temperature. Now it's going to be cold, so I say warm. Praise Allah.
Yeah, tall.
Oh my goodness.
Excuse me. Can't believe the decorations. Not Prophet's birthday anymore.
Okay. Thank you.
And with that one, and with the balloons I saw in the back.
All right. Well, I think we're in a minute. Did you say Islam to the chairman to be recognized? You got to raise your hand and wait for the chairman to recognize you on the floor. Otherwise, you're out of law.
Islam, Sister Hemshire on the day. How you? How you doing?
Oh, I'm crying.
How you are? You had a long day?
Yes, long week at this hour, and little Muslims are usually rested by about 8 o'clock for later, it's 8:30.
You get it a rest.
Yes, praise Allah.
You gonna lead us in a prayer?
Are you gonna lead us in a prayer?
Okay.
All right. All rise, face the east, feet at a 90 degree. 5 fingers to the left to the right. Repeat the Morse American prayer after our sister in Surround the Bay.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Through Ali.
Through Ali.
Amen.
Amen.
Praise Allah.
Thank you, Chad.
Great work. Thank you so much for your
Good work.
support and your assistance. Islam. Happy Holy Day.
Happy Holy Day.
Brother Treasurer, Islam, just so you know, I took the picture of the information here. I'm gonna ask Brother T. Ferguson to sign with me. I'm gonna just text so that the she's so aware. Everything will be able.
Islam, Mons. Praise Allah. Happy Holy Day, Mons.
Happy holy day.
Happy holy day. Happy holy day, brother.
It starts here on